Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new series. I am Sylphin. In this brand new series, we're taking a look at low ELO game casts because I do the PML casting, at least at the last tournament, and one coming up on the 15th, 16th. So I will have relatively high ELO games done for that. Hopefully I can get my hands on that footage. So in order to kind of diversify my content and help you guys out, we're going to be casting lower ELOs. Because we want to see what goes on, what goes wrong, what we can learn, and see how these mistakes can be, learned from. So if you guys are interested in that, this is the video for you. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it here on this wonderful looking team here. So this is my team here. I am on my Bay Muriel, and we can talk about the team compositions right off the bat. So for me, I thought that Muriel was a good choice here because she has the capability of really prolonging the life of high damage dealing, high influence heroes. Crunch, his influence absolutely shines with an amazing name of Re-Crunch. That's absolutely fantastic. She can compound the high influence that some heroes have just because she can keep them alive. So Crunch does absolutely nuts work if he's allowed to over time. Countess, again, if you can keep her alive for her ridiculous abilities, that is absolutely amazing. We have Revenant here, who obviously is very, very powerful. If you can keep him alive, can do work. Rora, maybe not so much, but she will be good frontline and will just compound. And that will be compounded with my shields. So pretty good pick in my part, if I do say so myself. Now it just comes down to the execution of actually doing that. They have, but maybe a very meta hero here, the Twin Blast. And that is obviously very, very effective. So Twin Blast is going to be a good pick for the enemy team with a Muriel as well. So the Muriel is going to synergize well with the Countess, just like I synergize well with my Countess. But the Feng Mao shields as their jungler is going to work really, really well. So that's going to be something for sure. So the enemy team, maybe a little bit, teeny weeny bit more meta with the Countess Bellica and the Twin Blast and the Feng Mao. The Muriel's a little bit odd, but she can, again, compound the Feng Mao shields, the Countess nonsense, and the Twin Blast nonsense. Bellica, just super medic, and she can do a lot, so that's going to work very well. Now, so far already, as an offlaner here, our offlaner here is maybe wasting a bit of her abilities, as you need to use that Hoarfrost right as the enemies are walking into that. So that's going to be there. Playing defensive, not dying for your tower is much more valuable than well, dying for your tower. Your tower really isn't overly all that important. So there are that long range poke here from Twin Blast, and she's gonna have to be very careful, although Moment is gonna go for it, as there's the shields to tank, and yeah, so there's the nice dive there. Unfortunately, the Twin Blast doesn't die to that tower. Hopefully this Countess rotates. Fantastic rotation, exactly what you want to have happen. Mid laner needs to be paying attention to see those opportunities there for sure. So well done on the Countess part. Unfortunately, she took the wrong way trying to come in here and get the Twin Blast. I would have rather gone this way just to ensure that kill. Really, she can definitely do that. She does have level 3. Now this Re-Crunch takes out the Bellica and wins the fight here on the Feng Mao. So hey, Re-Crunch going to town on Crunch, even without his Re-Crunch. So fantastic job by his part to win for that 1v2 as a black buff going to town in this early game. So there you guys go. Some good play there by our friendly Crunch for sure. We do have me and Reflection here doing an okay job. We did actually do quite well. We're trying to burst down this tower here so that we can rotate over to the Raptor side. And we're doing a pretty good job. When you are in the safe lane as a support, you have to follow what your carry is doing. If they you know, it's kind of their job to maintain the lane, to slow push it if they want, to push it, to maintain a freeze, to break a freeze, etc. You just have to follow what they're doing. He's hard pushing the lane, so I'm going to hard push the lane as well, and make sure we do that. So the tower is almost done, but look at our offlaner again. No offense to this player whatsoever. I do not mean that in any way, shape, or form, just as an educational tool. Being too aggressive up here in the offlane just needs to be getting that hero experience. That is very, very valuable. What you need to do, basically, staying alive is your #1 priority. Nothing else whatsoever. Yep, jumping forward and grabbing a last hit or two absolutely is very obviously valuable, but stay alive. #1, stay alive. Now here I used the my shield on the Revenant because I know that Fangmail burst is coming, so that definitely worked well, and then I slowed down the Fangmail once a slow had worn off my Revenant, so that works obviously very well. So there is our offlaner getting taken out, unfortunately. So the Countess here doing a really good job rotating over. Unfortunately, should have focused down the Muriel. That's exactly what I said. There is the ultimate, and she does get the kill. I don't think she can get this. Oh, but she does have black buff, absolutely. So yeah, this should be, she has the mana for it. Well done indeed here by Ferris Ahab. Wondrously done for a 1v2 to take that down. Well done. I wish I could type in the message with like go to them. So fantastic job here. Look at that with the black buff, perfectly timed rotation. Even though she, yeah, absolutely well done. Well done. The Crunch here looking like you're doing a good job. 2 kills so far. As yeah, look at the enemy team here. Oh, that is us actually with the 4-3, and the Revenant and I go in on the Countess. Sorry about that. I do go and tank the tower there. It is very important for you as a support to be that tank under the tower if you guys are diving for it. Muriel, obviously with her shields, really powerful in that regard. So we do that. You just have to make sure that you communicate and kind of get that vibe, to give that vibe to your enemy, to your friendly team here, and kind of just make sure that you communicate that for sure. So far, the game's going pretty good here. I'm not really sure if there's nothing too much to do. The towers are almost down, so we could be rotating here anytime here to get closer to the left lane for that Raptors. Really, that is kind of the only reason why you want to switch lanes with the safe lane and off laner. Really, just to get closer to Raptors, so you can contest that, be closer, make that a little nicer here. Now, great rotation here from Recrunch. This should turn into a kill for sure. There is that shields. I thought that mental suffering there was going to turn around and do Seismic Assault and Void Bomb. So there you go. So great gank here by Recrunch. Secure that kill. We should maybe be 3 stacking this one side here to make sure that this lane goes down. But the Countess is here, or maybe the Countess and Crunch here could go gank the mid lane. So I think she is staying here to make sure that we do secure this, even though this is going to be, yeah. So this is definitely a tower down. So that should have been fairly obvious there. So Ferris Ahab coming back to the mid lane, as the mid lane does take some damage. So a little bit of game sense there. Could have been improved, but really not that big of a deal here. I'm going to rotate over to help maybe my Countess here in the mid lane. The Circlet of Health with a nice global regen going to town. I think it does have quite a good value. I haven't done any math or anything, but it should be there. So unfortunately, we're going to go and maybe see a gank here, but no, nothing happens. It does get away. A very interesting deck here for this Aurora. Health regen and lifesteal. So the health regen obviously is very powerful here in the early game, but that much lifesteal I don't think is overly relevant in the early game. So simply just 2 healer tokens would have just been enough. Definitely vastly superior here to a Sylphin shard. The Countess is going to try to rotate. If she is going to rotate, then communication needs to happen here to make sure that they can go in on this group. As as they are going in, here is the ultimate on the Muriel, but the shields totally mitigates that. I'm trying to come here as fast as possible. I'm like, ooh, this is a lost cause, so let's just take this from them at least and try to peel for my Countess. I do manage to do that. Our Revenant, though, decides to kind of go for it and unfortunately can't secure the kill. And now he's in a bit of trouble, and I'm like, oh man. I'm going to give him a speed boost so he can go away. And nothing really happens there. So a little bit of a miscommunication there. The crunch definitely maybe needed to rotate to the mid lane, as the mid lane tower is now at half. Is now at half damage. So this Feng Mao here did a good job of seeing all of my team here in the left lane, and kind of just grouping there, not really doing anything. So he took that time to push down this mid tower. Recrunch is coming over to our safe lane to cover for our Aurora that hasn't really rotated yet. That transition needs to be clear. You have to be open as an offlaner to switch with your safe laners if they want to. Really, it's just so that the duos can be closer to Raptors. So that is important. That is securing that the map objective is important. Yeah, that is just going to be CXP that you can use to snowball over the enemy team. I do believe, if I remember correctly, there's going to be a 2v2 here that I don't think goes overly well in our favor, but that's gonna be here. So Recrunch doing a really good job. Ferris Ahab here doing a really good job getting these river camps. Looks like it's going to be a 3v2, but I don't think it's going to go well. There's the Countess absolutely deleting the crunch. So that's a great rotation here, as yeah, Ferris Ahab not really doing much. And there is the 2v2 I was just talking about that didn't go well, as I'm trying to remember here what exactly happened. As we can go back and take a look at this. So there's that 3v2 happening in the mid lane, as of course it's a little too early. So the yes, it started there. Unfortunately, I used my shield though not to protect my Revenant, so there is my bad. Although did I? Oh, what's going on here? Yeah, so I didn't use my Consecrated Ground to protect my Revenant. I'm not sure exactly what I was thinking there. So there's all that. I'm trying to harass. Yeah, so there's all that damage there. There's that burst that could have definitely mitigated from my Revenant. I stay there for some reason. I have no idea why I stayed there. So that was really dumb on my part. Yeah, so really poorly done. Really poorly done. We tried to steal the gold buff there. That really didn't work. So really poorly done on my part there. I didn't mitigate the damage, that burst damage on my Revenant. So really poorly done. Unfortunately, that's all me right there. They get a tier 2 tower, I think, out of this. So yep, I just need to protect my carry, man. That was all on me there. The Consecrated Ground, I didn't get that. Oh boy. Yep, so there you go. I didn't even use my ultimate there. They get the tier 2. We do try to rotate on them. The Countess is focusing the Muriel. It is probably actually a good idea, to be honest with you. And she gets absolutely deleted. I don't shield her in time, which is really, really frustrating. I do remember this. As I think I did actually put down my shield, but I don't know, nothing happened. I missed that. We do get the Twin Blast, so that's good. As we somehow turn this around. I'm trying to speed up my Revenant here. I'm like, oh, if you want to play hide and go seek, then we do definitely secure this kill. But I'm trying to do something, but no, I have no mana whatsoever to help out my Revenant, as now they will clean up, as this Aurora here should have definitely come to help us. So there you go. That is something that definitely could have been improved. Our offlaner here could have definitely come to help us. Unfortunately, that the glacial charge does does nothing there. And now the Countess here comes out. I think she was dead or back at base. So offlane could have definitely helped out there. So if you guys need to pay attention to your mini map and see where your team needs help. So at this point, this this Twin Blast is absolutely fed quite a bit. So 23 CP, 6 and 2. That's going to be really important. Really important. To focus him down. Recrunch here going really hard in with no wards on the map, no vision, no enemies on the map. Unfortunately, you know, that's gonna hurt him more of the time. So there's a fantastic interruption of the Countess ult, but the ult does use again. So yeah, there you go. Goes too deep with no vision. So poor decision there with no enemies on the map, on your mini map. You just simply can't do that sort of thing. You know, dive too deep, especially when you are behind. And this Countess here, unfortunately, does get taken out. I don't have my ultimate. I don't use my ultimate. What am I doing here? Again, so there's my bad. Maybe, oh, it is on cooldown, I think. This is what this means. I don't know. There is a few times in this game I do remember where I don't use my ultimate, so I was really doing a poor job here. Again, if you are defending this tower, you need to just stay back. So there's a 4-person ultimate. I think she only get it on 2 at the beginning. I tried to secure this kill, but we can't. So that was not enough engagement here from our, well, Crunch was too late. He was dead. So not enough commitment to that fight. We had the advantage because of that Aurora ultimate, and we simply didn't use it. So there is a poor, kind of, a little bit of a mistake there. Crunch does have the upper hand here with very minimal mana on the enemy team, so he's trying to make it happen, but got juked out here from the Teleblink, coming out from mental suffering here as Moment does indeed get out of it. So kind of a collapse of the friendly team here. You know, if you are behind, you simply have to accept it and just play safe. You know, one of the hardest things to really accept is when a tower is done for, and you know, just getting out of there, just getting out of here, not being in this area when you're defending a tower, but instead being in this area or up on top here. Up on top, you can sit on top here and defend your tower, because at least, you know, the minions, you can attack the heroes, and the minions take a while to get around here and stuff like that. So you just have to be really careful. Now here, I do remember I was simply, I ult on the freaking Crunch because the auto lock-on was just dumb, and I couldn't lock onto him. Oh, it was, yeah, so that is exactly why. It was because the Revenant was ulted. He was in the Netherrealm. You can't target the Revenant in the Netherrealm, so that's why. Now I finally realize it. There you go. So unfortunately, the Revenant chose to duel the enemy carry, and he's simply too fed. 26 CP to this Revenant's 23. Yep, arguably he should be able to win this. Madstone Gem maybe could be another meltdown. Shadow Scroll, too much ability pen in my opinion. Absolutely. So just meltdowns here would definitely be more mathematically sound anyways. For me, I am playing a bit of a strange deck. I'm doing a little bit more front line of a Muriel with a little bit of damage here in the early game, just so that, you know, I can be a part of that. Little bit of a different deck for me, so I definitely wasn't being the best support in this game for sure. Sylphin Shard again. Healer tokens would be much more important, and the ward here, ward for the carry, 110%. Everybody should have a ward, and that's definitely a reason why the enemy team is dominating in the vision department, at least so far. We have good vision placement right now. It doesn't necessarily matter around Raptors because they are taken, so there is that for sure. Enemy team, a whole bunch of Madstones can be very, very effective. He's going high burst with Blade of Agora done already. Only 20% crit chance. Twin Blast, you need at least 30 some. 30 some crit chance in order for that to make the most sense. So that's a minor little improvement here that I'm sure he's just going to get another impact hammer anyways and be there very quickly. A Countess, I have seen these basic armor, a little bit of armor decks on them. Simply the health isn't there, even when you include the regen, so that is unfortunate. The Revenant chose to pick a fight here with the duo. Again, my ultimate here couldn't work on the Revenant in the Nether Realm, so I was stuck, unable to ult over to him. So unfortunate that the Revenant was making those decisions there. I mean, at this point, I think he is too far behind. I mean, maybe he can. Maybe he can. There I am missing my Serenity. Unfortunately, we can't do that. And the Countess and Crunch here, it looks like they're not able to do that. So looks like they're a little too much. Look at this Muriel shields, man. That's why I love Countess and Muriel for that incredible sustain. Here's Ferris Ahab going right on the Twin Blast. He finally goes down. Well done there. So didn't unfortunately get the tier 2 tower, even though, I mean, we have a tier 2 tower down. Anyways, that's not overly important. As Recrunch trying to go 1v2 on the enemy team, I miss everything. Yeah, so unfortunately my shield there didn't go far enough. I missed my right click. I am making some mistakes here as well. I finally have the quenching scales now. The circlet of health does drop off in effectiveness relative to people's health pools pretty darn quickly. It is a 19-minute mark and hero levels of 8 and plus, so not really going to be too effective, so I do switch out for the quenching scales. Our friendly team here makes some poor decisions on small skirmishes here, 1v2ing people, and I'm missing everything, so that's I do apologize to my friendly teams here. So these are some things that we definitely can improve. Making smarter plays here. We need vision. We need some more wards here, especially since we are on the defensive. We need wards in our own jungles, in our own strong jungles. We just need to play it safe. You know, not feed these guys too much. This should be a pick here. The Aurora and us should be able to go, but again, my shields don't work on him in the Nether Realm, so unfortunately he does go down. You know, unfortunately the Aurora maybe could have committed there a little bit harder. Gets to secure some more damage on the Twin Blast to help out the Revenant, but not much I could do there, unfortunately. So that is unfortunate. Our Recrunch again going to ham here in the mid lane. It simply can't be doing that. Again, no offense to any of these players. I don't mean that in any way. Simply just pointing out, simply pointing things out and trying to be educational as well. So there you go, 1v2ing. Simply really not the thing. You just have to play safe, farm up, and instead 2v1 enemy heroes that are overextended and are too and are simply too confident. Freezing these lanes, pushing these lanes up only when you have the vision support to warrant it. We have Raptors up right now, so we need to be setting out wards, setting our lanes, and pushing into Raptors to contest this. And I think that is maybe what we are doing. Yes, we absolutely need to do that, although Raptors are, of course, going to go down before we get there. So there's a little bit too late of a response from our part, so that is unfortunate. Here is Aurora not ulting as she is split up now, so we simply need to focus on high priority targets here. Where's the Aurora ult? No! So missed opportunity there, so bad initiation followed up with a really odd engagement. Here's the Revenant going to come in all alone from the behind. He's going to 1v1 the Twin Blast here, but he gets absolutely obliterated because he walked straight towards a Twin Blast. Never walked straight towards a Twin Blast, as that rapid fire is just too much. As yeah, so too much going on here. we are simply too spread out, making some kind of poor decisions here. So here's a crunch going to town. Can he kill the Twin Blast? I don't think so. No, with the Muriel here, she is low on mana, so not much he's gonna do. But yeah, really poor engagement there. The Aurora ult for the initiation would have been absolutely fantastic, but nope, we lose a 5v4. So the initiation went poorly, and then we simply split up too much during that engagement, going the Aurora fighting a 1v2, me trying to help out my team with the Twin Blast, but the Muriel ulted on the Twin Blast, so that really made that tough to do. The inhibitor is now down from a fantastic split push by this Countess because the rest of her team is fed, so they can 4v5. Yeah, so there you guys go. You can probably really see what to do better. The focus fire in these engagements is definitely needed to have been improved. Simply focusing down that Twin Blast, or actually Muriel in especially when she is in the correct team comp, is a beast. She's kind of like a pseudo phase, except with shields. She can take high influence heroes like Countess, in this case their Twin Blast, who's just super duper fed, you know, Shinbi, Crunch, Countess, Kwong, because she can just compound that shields and that lifesteal. Really high influence heroes, and just amplify, magnify that. And you know what, you simply have to kind of just take down a Muriel and kind of stop her from doing that, and then you can go on those high priority targets that, well, are simply just dead because they don't have their support, right? So kind of like that. So the focus fire here was unfortunate, as yeah, that definitely could have been improved. So now we have a wee little bit of map control. The best person for this wave clear would definitely be the Countess to be here in the right lane. The Countess should be there. The Revenant and the Crunch, maybe the Revenant maybe should be focusing on the left lane, perhaps, pushing that up with the Countess very easily able to push down this right lane. That could be a option. I mean, the Revenant can also obviously be here, so that really not that big of a deal. I am split pushing. That is what Muriel can do. I do have my ultimate up, so I'm simply just getting here, trying to, because we are so far down, or we are so far behind, we simply, you know, need to catch up. I am behind the enemy Muriel. I am at the same spot, only because here I'm not sure what I'm doing. I do try to heal up this Revenant, as I am being a little bit dumb. So there is that Muriel completely negating the Countess burst. At this point, I have no mana. I cannot help this Revenant. I could maybe throw out my Alacrity, but unfortunately, I don't do that. They choose to go in a poor direction, and these engagements just simply falling apart. We get the Bellica pick, but unfortunately we can't focus fire enough on that Twin Blast, or probably the Muriel is probably a better option here, and we just can't do it. So Quadrillion here, fantastic Twin Blast play, as he's going to fall under cover here of his Feng Mao and absolutely takes this Crunch down. Again, overextending, accepting your losses, something that's really hard to do. Something that's really hard to do. And you know what? You just gotta accept it. You gotta accept the loss. You gotta accept the, not the loss of a match, but the loss of a tower, the loss of an engagement, the loss of an ally. You just have to accept that. So here I am. I have absolutely no mana whatsoever. So I'm just trying to be helpful. You know, I'm trying to do my things. The Countess goes in a weird way. Yeah, so unfortunate here. Was she even able to run towards the... Was she even able to run towards the base? Let's see here. Yeah, she totally was. She totally was. Oh, man. So there you go. Just I mean, again, except the fact that you just have to run towards your base. You're probably going to die. That's the safest way. Unfortunately, we're just getting picked apart. So, yeah, there you guys go. What are some of the builds here? Ferris, yeah, this is a pretty good build. Again, ability pen. I mean, I suppose it is the best thing next to power on a Countess, but maybe some health. Honestly, maybe some health. Maybe not even some mana would be some good things here. Is yes, upgrading ability pen. You don't have the power yet to warrant that ability pen. So that is some advice here. I'm trying to reclaim some map security here with some wards, but again, I can't do diddly squat as a Muriel. This Revenant going into crit now. Power vastly superior till like 45, 50 CP. Believe it or not. Crunch going right into some tankiness. Absolutely fantastic. That is what he needs to be for us. So great there. Aurora going into some kinetic and power. She really just needs to be tank and power as well with some utility. Something like Tainted Magic. Something like Tanked Magic, but with tank as well thrown in there, and a ward, of course. Me, again, doing a bit of a strange build here, so I'm doing a bit of a dumb deck. So it's all on me there for being not the greatest support for my team as well. Feng Mao going high, a good amount of tank with a good amount of attack speed. Absolutely very effective on him. Again, we're trying to initiate a fight outside of inhibitor when we are already behind, and a Countess is pushing our core. Very poor decision, absolutely very poor decision, and that is game. So as you guys can see, some not the greatest gameplay decisions. The theme here seems to be 1v1s, 1v2s, you know, or poor 1v1s, poor 1v2s, and, you know, not accepting the fate of yourself, of your allies, of your towers, and just kind of trying your best. So there you guys go. 19-4 for this Twin Blast, being absolutely well fed, well done from that team. As we can maybe take a look at their builds. Yes, so a much more proper deck here. Quenching Scales, Honor the Pure. This Purity Sensor absolutely negated the Aurora's ultimate there at that inhibitor. So well done here by Moment 345. Countess here, switching up that basic armor for some Shadow Scrolls. Yeah, so that's enough power, getting close to enough power, yeah, for that ability pen. So well done on her part. Twin Blast, high damage. Oh, with some attack speed. So yeah, not a complete power burst deck, but with still a 33% attack speed. Ain't bad at all. Bellica for good sustain here and power. Really good to see with a Nanoplasm even, and the Teleblink with a nice tanky Feng Mao with Whirling Wand thrown in there as well. So great decks by the enemy team. And there you guys go. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this game, of what happened. What are some things that you guys learned, and put them down in the comments so that people can just kind of quickly look at it and learn from that as well. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments of this new series. What can I continue to do better? What other kind of game should I look at? Should I go on Agora? How do I find these? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Please like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, share it with the community, and of course, guys, subscribe. If you guys like this content, especially if you found it useful, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. If you would like to support me and what I do on a regular basis, please consider going over to my Patreon account, where you can make a monthly pledge to support what I do and reap some pretty good rewards. Till next time, like always, guys, stay optimistic and positive.